Hello and welcome to Mako Tarot. If you are new, if you are returning, welcome back. I wanted to take a quick moment before I jumped into the reading to have a quick little, discussion. I wanted to do a reading a little differently today. It will be, I think I'm going to do a couple if I can. And I want to start with Chrisean Rock, which is this actual video. In more recent times, I've been doing videos to kind of tap into the energy of what is going on with her. And I've noticed that I have certain people that will, of course, be supportive. And they're like, yeah, that actually makes sense, etc. And then you do have some people that are like, oh, no, that doesn't make sense. That's not it, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, I am not God. You are not God. So we really don't know what is truly going on behind the scenes. When I do a reading, I am tapping into the energy for that moment, that day. And to give you a little bit of perspective, if you've ever had, matter of fact, let's do it this way. With TikTok, you know how they have a video that I've seen and they have a little voiceover now where they're like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I did it, right? If you're familiar with that. The thing is, we have free will. We can change our mind at any moment. Some people will, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it up until the moment, and then they change their minds. So when I'm tapping into the energy on this day, this is the energy that I'm getting. When that person encounters another obstacle, situation, or whatever, it is very possible for them to change their minds. So again, this is for entertainment. I don't personally profess to be God. I just feel that like all of us, I'm intuitive and I tap into the energy of what's going on with that person. So a lot of people that come on with the, oh no, this and that, this, I can't control the outcome. I can only talk about what I have in that moment. So for those of you who know or don't know, my background is in counseling. I actually have a PhD in the counseling field, and that's my day job. So I've been interested in starting to do a segment on profiling these people. I'm not going to stay forever and a day in the Chrisean Rock world, even though I will do videos on her. But there are tons of other celebrities and people that personally I also have an interest in that I would love to tap into their energy. So if this is something that you're interested in, then I would love for you to join me on this journey. If not, totally understand. And, we'll leave it at that. Okay. So will I do other readings to check in on the energy of Chrisean Rock and Blueface stuff? Of course, because it's newsworthy, it's trending, etc. However, am I going to make my entire channel about Chrisean Rock and Blueface? Absolutely not, because that is tapping into something of a negative energy. And if any of you are empaths, which I'm sure you are, you understand that being in that low vibrational energy all the time is incredibly draining. So I have to do some balance work of situations that are positive, as well as maybe some situations that are not, because we do live in a real world. Okay, so I just wanted to take a moment before I did the reading to kind of open the door. If it's not something you're interested in, then you're more than welcome to leave, and I appreciate you taking this time to visit the channel in the first place. If it is something you're interested in, I'm going to be looking at the past, present, and future profile of Chrisean Rock, and I would love for you to join me on this particular journey. So let's begin. Cards have already been shuffled and saged. Let's do it a little bit again. All right. So what energy can you tell us about the past with Chrisean already? Okay, switch up. This is my mega Oracle deck one. Can you give us a little information about the past? Something fell. Just want to make sure it's not a card. Anything, any messages concerning Chrisean Rock and her past? Okay, stingy. One more. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what the Oracle cards. Stingy, rest, Mental illness. Lack of confidence. Pisces has come out. Freak. Untrustworthy. Cold-hearted. I don't tend to read my oracle cards in reverse. Sexual trauma. Heartbroken. Wow. Pregnancy. Cancer. A message is coming. Controlling. Divine masculine. At the bottom of the deck, we have twin flame. Okay, so when we look at past, let's see what I'm reading off of this. With the cold-hearted energy at the center of the read, what I feel like in Chrisean's past is that she has felt that people have been very cold-hearted towards her. I feel like I'm hearing there's a lack of compassion, like people weren't compassionate. And it does not mean everybody. When I speak, this is not an absolute. This is not no one ever cared for her. This is an overall feeling that she felt at one moment in time that people were very cold-hearted towards her. She felt very ostracized, isolated, even in a crowd, okay? Because for some reason, looking at the cards, I feel like it's all this activity around her, but at the center of the read is that cold-hearted energy. I don't feel like she feels that's her energy. That's the energy that she was having to deal with, okay? I feel like a lot of people were stingy. Maybe that was a feeling that she had where she didn't have and she felt like other people had and they didn't give to her for some reason. With the rest card, I feel like she wasn't able to rest. I feel like she couldn't rest. She had to be in motion. Now this could be like ADHD kind of hyperactivity type of stuff. But even though it's on here, I feel like it's the opposite, like she wasn't able to rest. There is a mental illness here. And that could be her. It could be family members. I'm getting mother. But it also could be her too with bipolar. And that's coming from the background. I've often thought that myself. So when it popped out, I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. Definitely know she's dealing with depression, possibly some anxiety. We know she has some attachment issues with people. So it could be her. But I also feel like it's running the family. That this mental illness has run into the family. And because of not having, there's been a lack of confidence. She pushes forth, but she really doesn't have the confidence that she needs. Now, Pisces is on the board. And in the tarot, the Pisces card indicates the moon. The moon is a feminine energy, but it often hides things. Things are not as clear as they are when the sun is out, okay? So there seems to be a lot of confusion in her past of just not knowing where to turn, what to do, feeling overwhelmed. And this is where the mental illness, like I said, it could have been anxiety, could have been depression, could be bipolar or something like that. But this is where that's coming in because she doesn't have confidence in herself. She can kind of put on the cloak of confidence. Like I know from what I've seen, she used to be a athlete, so it's like I can do certain things, but still deep down, that sense of confidence in herself is not really there. Okay. We do have freak, and freak could be, of course, many things. It could be on the sexual side that she learned to be quote unquote a freak because of the sexual trauma that we have here, where she was abused sexually in certain ways. And if this is a trigger, trigger warning, if you're being triggered, then you might want to fast forward this part. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't know all the details, but I will say that I think her behaviors in relationships were she learned to use her looks and her body to try to get attention and love, if that makes sense. And I'm going to try to leave that there. But she's learned that many people have been very untrustworthy towards her. I feel like family members friends have turned their backs. And then we move right into the cold-hearted energy, which is at the center of the reading. We have heartbroken. I feel like she's had her heart broken a lot. And I don't feel like her heart being broken has been solely because of a relationship. Definitely a relationship has broken her heart, but I feel like it's heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak, because there have always been people that she tried to trust and then they just pushed her away. It's giving like an unwanted kind of child where I cling to people for love, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's partners, and they like me at first, but then they push me away is what I feel is that heartbreak. And not having, she tried to hold on to people for help and she still was pushed away. Which gives her this thing where I think I just mentioned it about, and my nose is itching, so it's we're walking down the right path. But it's giving this energy of clinging to love even if it hurts. And she did that not only in her relationships, but she's done that also with the people in her life, family, somebody who might have tried to help and maybe they were mean, but you just kind of try to overlook it because where else am I going to go? What else am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? That kind of energy. We also have pregnancy, in which, you know, we've learned that she's had several babies, pregnancies, which is why she had her son. We also have Cancer energy. And in the tarot, the Cancer is the Chariot. This is about either travel or moving forward energy. We have a message is coming. Okay. And then we also have controlling, and we have divine masculine. So now this is starting to move me from the past, and it could be going toward the present. But basically, you know, I'm thinking this divine energy, divine masculine, controlling, message is coming person. This is it's giving the energy of possibly blue phase, being that person. Can you give me a little bit more insight into Chrisean Rock? What is going on here in this message? Can you please give some more insight to what is going on here in this past? I'm hearing 3. Mega deck 3. This is only part of it. It's a 100 card deck, but I just separated it from the rooms. And let's see, is there any more information, especially about this divine masculine that's controlling? Is there any information about that you could tell us? One more shuffle. Ten. Go. W. Abundance. Okay. I don't know. There's some, see, it's a trigger is at the bottom. If you can see it, trigger. This person, the number 10 is giving me some type of new beginning, and the go card is like a green light. There's something abundant that's definitely coming with the ear of corn that signifies abundance and good luck. The initial W may be of some significance. I don't know if it's a person she's dealing with or whoever's coming, but it's giving some type of divine masculine, and that kind of makes sense. But then I don't like this controlling energy. And the fact that this person is definitely a trigger for her. Okay. So I'm not sure. But let's look forward, because I think we're already kind of going there. Let's move into the present time. This is a headache when they look alike, but they have different numbers on them, so I have to check. Give me 1 second to reset. And of course my incense has gone out. You can fast forward this part, but I need it to keep the energy clear. If not, it's a little ASMR. All of that, and it's barely lit up. All right, there we go. All right, let's get back into it. So let's go back to Mega Deck 1, Oracle deck. I didn't plan on using my Oracle decks, but hey. So let's look at the current energy of Chrisean Rock. What is the current energy? What is the current energy of Chrisean? Okay. Competition. Rest keeps coming out. This girl needs to, it's weird because she feels like she's in competition with someone. Let me do one more shuffle. And yet there's this thing where she needs to rest. I don't know if she's staying up, which kind of would fall in the line with possible bipolar disorder. Not to say I'm diagnosing her, but sometimes when you're in a manic state, you can't sleep. And so I just feel like she's struggling to rest, and that's not doing good for her mental, you know. There's perfectionist. There's no communication. Fake emperor. And then we got Cancer again. All right. And we just said Cancer is the Chariot. And the Chariot is often in the upright. It talks about travel, you know, plans going through. With this, we have competition. I feel like she does feel like she's in competition with everybody. You know, that she looks at any woman, especially if she's dating someone, as competition. But I feel like she's competitive by nature, and that could have something to do with her past as far as being in sports, but she's very competitive. And so there's an issue here, though. Even though it says rest, I feel like there's an issue with not resting. And, you know, there's a perfectionism that's here where she feels like, in my mind, it's a level of wanting to be perfect, trying to figure out what do I need to do to try to be perfect. What is it that I need to do to get people to love me? Let's break it all the way down. To like me, to love me, to want to be with me. What do I need to do in order to be a success? Because I feel like there's an overall energy of being an F up, if that makes sense, or a person that constantly fails, if you don't want the F word, a person that constantly fails. And I feel like she's struggling with trying to do something and it never really takes off. It may do pretty good, but then it falls apart. And I do feel like, counseling background a little bit, that's self-sabotage. You know, sometimes people unknowingly, unconsciously want so much more, and they're given an opportunity or opportunities, and then they find a way, it seems, to just mess it up. And somewhere in her mind, in the unconscious, not the conscious mind, because the conscious mind, I need to get my paper, I need to do this, I need to do that. I think in her subconscious or unconscious mind, she's sabotaging herself, because when you're a perfectionist, sometimes you're afraid of failure, but you can also be afraid of success. And so I find that she links up with people that could, you know, be a benefit to her. She doesn't stay there, but then she'll link up with people who are not, you know, it's a lot. So that definitely resonates with me. With the no communication, it could be that she's no longer communicating at this moment with people in her past, whether it be Blueface or whomever. There's this energy here too of feeling like that person was a fake emperor. That the emperor in the tarot is the culmination of all the kings. You know, he has the energy of emotional stability, financial stability, mental stability, and agility. You know, he's got everything that he needs, the drive and passion and ambition. When a person is in that fake emperor energy, it's you're giving that is who you are, but that's not who you are. Like, you're not real. Like, you try to pretend to be this, but you're not. And I think there's a revelation here that you're not who you pretend to be. Okay, if that makes sense. Anything else to add to what's going on in her current situation? This is my mega deck 2. It's a different energy. Anything else going on in Chrisean Rock's energy that we can know about? One more. Someone's being sneaky. Secret lover. Separated. Illegal activity. Good news. Lord. Ooh, plotting. Now, if you've been a follower of my channel and you've caught the last few videos I did on Blueface and Chrisean, this is kind of in alignment with it, where there's the energy of Blueface doing things underhanded, pretending to be on her side in a sense to get back into the public eye since he got released, but really and truly not trusting her at all and being there for alternative motives, whatever those are, whether it's for Junior, whether it's to, you know, get on and take over and get his money back up. It's not heartfelt. It's not, oh my gosh, I missed you, I just want to be with you. It's not that. It's about business. It's about money. It's about attention. And so I feel like that's some of his energy coming in here. And I think she's having the revelation that he is very sneaky. She's recognizing that either she has a secret lover or he has secret lovers here. There is a separation that's going on, and this is why I feel like it might be Blueface's energy. Illegal activity could be anything. It could be anything. It can go from, you know, selling yourself. It can go from, you know, substance use. It could go from a whole lot of stuff. I don't know, but it's something that might be going on behind the scenes. That's not good. Okay. Now we do have good news. And so maybe there's something that she will get. I said in the last readings I did with her that I do feel like some shows are coming up. Marriage even came up. That may not happen, or maybe it'll happen just for them to divorce. I don't know. But I feel like she's in this space of trying to get as much money as she can. I do feel Blueface is in that energy too. And quite frankly, when you're in that world, sometimes it doesn't matter. They'll just do whatever they got to do to make the money. So there's that. But with plotting here, you know, she's plotting her strategies, but I also feel like Blueface as well. I said wow because look at this, homeless. I feel like she's kind of all over the place. She's kind of all over the place trying to figure out. I'm going to just keep going. Then we have a lot of secrets. It could be secrets that she knows about Blueface. It could be he knows secrets about her. It could be something, you know, someone has on her. I don't know. And the last one I'm going to do is toxic family. So it feels like even if, you know, it goes back to the first part of this reading. Where do I turn? You know, where do I turn? That if I can't trust family members, if I'm alone in a crowd, people have mental illnesses of their own, there's no support, people have been very cold-hearted towards me, where do I turn? Where do I turn? I feel like that's kind of currently where she is. Let's take a look here on the money situation. Is there anything financially you could tell us about Chrisean presently? That won't come out. One more, please. Ooh, blew out. All right. All right. The bottom of the deck, we have hidden money. See, this is what I mean. It's a lot of secretive types of energy. Either she's doing stuff to try to make sure her financial life is well, or maybe if Blueface has money, he's hidden it. I don't know, but it's somebody hiding money from something. We do have Fortune, and we do have Invest More. So this is giving the energy that regardless to how it has to be made, she's going to keep hustling to try to make millions. You know, she's going to try to focus. And I mean, I don't blame her. You know, some people are wealthy from people loving on them and just thinking they're the best. Let's say like a Sierra or something like that. And then there are some people that are notorious, you know, and they're known for being notorious. And it's kind of giving, that's the energy she's going to be in. If it's something where she can make some money off of her life being very toxic, have at it, right? Let's see something really quickly I thought about with the mind games. What's going on? What are the mind games being played here? Because there's a lot of behind the scenes energy going on where people are not who they're pretending to be. They really aren't. And I don't know who all these people are or what, but it's definitely like she's not around in good company. And it could also be her. It could also be her doing some underhanded stuff behind the scenes. But it's definitely something going on. Yep. I can't. This is so true. Emotionally abusive. And I'll read it for you. It says, this person will make you feel loved 1 minute. Okay. And then pull the carpet out from under you the next by calling your, wait a minute. By calling, okay, hold on now. I got a typo on my card, I'm noticing. So I can't read it the right way. But let me read it again. So emotionally abusive. This person will make you feel loved 1 minute and then pull the carpet out from under you the next by calling you names or saying they never loved you. This causes a constant roller coaster of emotions. Wow. Okay. All right. So yeah. So that's exactly where she's at. And you know who's been treating her like that. I mean, I'm trying not to do a Chrisean Rock Blueface song and dance, but in the present, that's definitely it. Where it's constant, yeah, we can work this out. We can make it happen behind the scenes. You get out, it changes up, you switch up. And then it's like, F you, because again, it's so many secrets. It's so many people pretending to be one way and not. And it's too much going on, honey. Okay. It's too much. Anything else? Nope. Nothing wants to come out. All right. So let's recalibrate. That is the current energy, which is positive to a certain extent. Well, I won't say positive, but she's definitely going to have money. So that's important to her. At what cost is kind of in my head. Because this is where tragedy happens. Where people make it. They have their money. And you think, oh, they're good now. They're millionaires now. Trust me. If you don't get that work in, whether it be counseling or at least some time with your family, to heal or whatever methods you got to do to try to heal, because looking at it, from my point of view, she does need help and nobody's going to try to help her. And she, I know even Blueface was talking about couples counseling at one point way back when. And she's like, oh, yeah, I need counseling. That's very much a sign of toxic. You don't want anyone else to tell you what's wrong. You don't want anyone else to help you. And she's been like that because it has been a lot of people that have been like, you need to just focus on raising your son. You need to stop focusing so much on, the drama and stuff. And yes, she's young. But at the end of the day, she really doesn't listen. Let's just be honest. She doesn't listen. So it's kind of like that you feel bad, but at the same time you don't, at the same time you don't. All right. So I guess in keeping, let's see what the future holds for Chrisean Rock. can you tell us about Chrisean? Transition. What else can you tell us about Chrisean? The last shuffle. Karmic. Legal matters. Wow. Mental illness. Sheesh. Weak. I'm going to pull out some more here because this is a lot. Intuitive. Taurus. Family. Hiding something. I just said that. Sagittarius. Narcissist. Oh gosh. Freak. Sudden changes. Twin flame. Pregnancy again. Irresponsible. Rival. Aquarius at the bottom. Man, this reading is wearing me out. I mean, yeah, this is a lot of energy, honey. Okay, let's get into it. So we do have transition. So transition is just another word for changes. There's some type of change that's on the horizon. Now we do have karmic. And this could be Blueface because typically karmics are people that seem to come in just to try to destroy situations. And with there being legal matters, I hate to say it, but stay on the outlook that he might be setting her up to repay the favor. If the belief is that you made me go to jail and yeah, I'm pretending I'm forgiving you so I can get close to you, there may be legal matters. Now, this could be something dealing with the child, possibly. It could be that, or it could be something, remember, with the illegal stuff that I just had in the current reading. If it's something illegal going on that he knows about or someone knows about, there's a possibility that that could come up. Okay. I feel like mental illness is here. So it could be that they're going to try to prove that there is a mental illness, that she's not fit with the weak card, that she's not fit to either care for this child or she's not fit to do something, almost in an energy of kind of trying to ruin a person. But there's also this energy of intuitive. And what I'm seeing flash in my head is the High Priestess. I feel like she's a lot more intuitive and empathic than she lets on. And she has kind of a sixth sense about stuff that she doesn't talk about, which is good in a sense, because you don't need to tell people your plans. But yeah. And then we have here Taurus with the Hierophant. This is giving a little bit about that learning. She might be somewhere trying to learn more about how to better herself in the sense of family. I mean, in the sense of her intuition. I don't know why I said family. I mean, it's right here, but I don't know why I just said that out of the blue. But there's family right here at the center of the read. So now this could be some legal issues dealing with her family, whether it be her immediate family with her baby or whether it's her overall family. Yeah, but somebody's hiding something. Definitely hiding something. With the Sagittarius card, it could be someone. These could be people in her midst, the Taurus, the Sagittarius. It could be somebody in her midst, but also, and we got Aquarius right here. But Sagittarius in the tarot is the Temperance card. So there could be something where she's trying to strike a balance with something. She's trying to find a way to balance stuff out. So then we have the Narcissist. Now this could be her. This could be people that are in her midst that are on that narcissist thing where it's all about them. They don't care who they hurt. There's a lack of empathy, etc. Freak came out again. So we could be using our sexuality to keep a person, get a person, try to win them back. Sudden changes are here, which goes in alignment with the transition. So something is definitely changing. There's someone she perceives to be her twin flame. The karmic is a person that is in your life and they're there to, it makes you grow, but it's almost like be an impediment. Now that could be family members, right? The twin flame is also a person that's in your life that it's a level of you can't live with them, you can't live without them. You know, it's a level of they often come in and out of your life. But what happens is that you're together and you feel whole, but it's often problematic. And then you separate. And in that separation, which came up in the current reading, remember that card separated. You separate, and then it's like, okay, we get to grow, we get to learn, we get to experience other things. And then you find yourself coming back together again. And this time you're taking the lessons that you've learned and you're using those. And then you separate again. So it just goes back, forth, the twin flame energy, until somebody gets tired and goes no contact, which was in the other present card reading we just did about separated, no communication. Now, there's a possibility of another pregnancy. I'm not saying she's pregnant right now, but there is the possibility of another pregnancy with this narcissistic twin flame, whoever that is. Okay. Then I also pulled the spiritual card. It's in that position for me, and it's irresponsible. And I think that's the biggest issue. And that might be where some of the legal matters come in, being irresponsible with something. It could be fighting. It could be, the child. It could be whatever with her. But then there's also possibility of a rival of some sort that she feels she has to compete against. I think I just pulled a card. I'm getting forgetful now, of competition. I think she feels like there's someone she has to compete against. All right. With the Aquarius card, this is typically, the star, which for me is wishes fulfilled. It's hope. It's trying to have faith. But then right underneath it, we have devil in disguise. And I can't resist this one. We have bisexual. So it could be that this relationship with this narcissist and stuff could be possibly with someone of the same sex. But this person might end up being a devil in disguise as well. Okay. Wow, it just kind of gives that she can't catch a break. Wow. Let's end the reading. Let's try to pull one of her, hold on, I can't. Hold on one second, because I just looked over my what's the tea. Let's at least try to pull one. And we have one card indicating the future for Chrisean Rock. What's one card? Long reading. Okay. So we have foresight. That's crazy. I did this in another reading and I said this card reminded me of Blueface. I don't know why, because he came out so buff and, bigger than he used to be. That's crazy that same card came back out. But it's Forcer. And the Forcer is pushing energy, crosses your boundaries, gets what they want. Where's my narcissist? By any means. Okay. So we could be talking about him, because I pulled this card out. If you've looked at other readings, I pulled this card out in her reading before that previous week reading on Chrisean. Same thing comes out again. All right. Let's go into her angel messages. Is there any message for Chrisean going forward? These are angel numbers. And it's just messages of hope or guidance. And nothing wants to come out. 2002. Okay. Unconditional love. Wow. Which is exactly what she wants. It says patience, flow, clarity, joy, movement, taking action, unconditional love. Okay. It's time to put those long cherished ideas into action. You will soon come into contact with the appropriate individuals, circumstances, and resources. Eventually, you will experience joy as well as brand new opportunities. Trust the process. Where was I? Didn't I just pull one? I get confused on the readings, but I know I just pulled one about good news. I think this might be her good news about opportunities coming for her. Trust the process, and everything you will experience. I can't even read it. Eventually, you will experience joy as well as brand new opportunities. Wow. Wow. Very appropriate. Very appropriate. All right. So I think that I'm going to end this reading here. This was just a profile of Chrisean Rock. Let me know if you listen to the whole video all the way through. Leave me a heart underneath the message. And if you like this kind of reading, let me know, as well as give some ideas if there are some other celebrities you'd like me to check into their past, present, future. I would love to look into that for you. So I hope this reading was helpful and entertaining. And if so, remember to like and subscribe. Until we meet again, remember, it always gets better. Always. Bye.